Welcome back, testing enthusiasts. In our series, Humans of Testing, we are diving into personal journeys of testing professionals, revealing the faces shaping digital reliability. And say hello to TestGrid, your go to for seamless test automation. With real devices and browsers, TestGrid makes testing a breeze. From mobile apps to cross browser testing, TestGrid ensures flawless digital experience every time. Test with confidence, powered by TestGrid. Let's dive into this episode right away. On today's episode, we have Sanjay Kumar with us, the innovative mind behind SelectorsHub, Testing Daily, TestCase Studio, and much more. He is a true innovator committed to making life easier for testers and developers worldwide. Working solely for the community, they have crafted groundbreaking tools like SelectorsHub, which lets you build XPath and CSS selector in less than 5 seconds. Join us in celebrating this visionary's dedication to simplifying the testing process for everyone. Hi, Sanjay. Welcome to Humans of Testing. My first question would be, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your background?
Sure. Thank you, Avisa, for having me here. Yes. Initially, like if I go very early stage, so I started my career with IBM. Before that, I did my engineering from HBTI Kanpur in chemical engineering. So yes, I'm not from the computer background, but yeah, got an opportunity to get placed in IBM as an associate system engineer. From there, I started. Initially, I was working in mainframe. So, but then I realized that this is not a cup of my tea. I'm not getting interest in that. So someone suggested like move into Selenium. It was in like 2014 around. So that's where like Selenium was coming in picture. So people suggested, some of my seniors suggested, why don't you learn Selenium and Java and move into that? So that's where I started learning about it. I took 2.5 month of training in one of the training institute in Bangalore, and then I started like writing blogs and articles, lots of things. I started giving answers on different forum. It was the era where people used to write lot of blogs on Blogspot, and then there were lots of Facebook group was evolving at that time because it was a Facebook era. And then so I used to write a lots of blogs, articles, giving answers for the questions of people. So that's where I started enjoying these things, and people start getting about me. And then I got an opportunity in GoIBibo. So by writing all these things, by doing all these things, I got a reference in GoIBibo. And then from GoIBibo, like there I learned a lot of things. I got a reference and great opportunity to connect with Pooja Sa. She supported, and I learned a lot of things from her. And then later I moved to Urban Ladder and then InMobi. So in InMobi, I worked there for quite some time and learned lots of things. That's where I started my journey of learning these things, like creating tools or something, like doing the because we started once you start trying doing things in automation, or you keep thinking about automation, so you try to think like why don't we automate each and everything. So that's where this idea of like my first tool came. So I created ChroPath, and then later I in 2020 I stopped working on that and then created SelectorsHub. And with SelectorsHub, we created so many utilities and changed the complete world of the game of like selectors, XPath, and the kind of like locators extensions. And then later on, we added a lot more utilities to make our testers and developers' life a lot more easier. And here today, like almost we are closing 3.5 years, or almost like in few months we will be celebrating fourth anniversary of SelectorsHub, and we are almost close to more than 1 million downloads and huge community of testers. So yeah, helping community.
That's really impressive, Sanjay. But so as you said that you didn't belong to coding background. So would you like label your transition smooth or difficult in your terms?
Uh,
Testing.
it was kind of mix up, I would say, but yeah, definitely it was quite challenging initially when I joined like IBM from chemical and then came to IBM. So initially, after getting the training and everything, when I was assigned to a project, it was quite a tough situation. Like one day, my lead asked me that Sanjay, come here, and this is the code, you have to analyze this code, because we were after training and we were like enjoying here and there. So he called me like, Sanjay, now you will have to work. So this is the code and you have to analyze this code. So I asked him like, what do you mean by analyze? Because we don't know what is analyzing the code. And then I went back. He said like, you just have to read this code and read this code and understand it. I said, okay. I went back to my seat and I read that code thrice and two, three times. It is like just like in plain English, not like a coding perspective, just like a English. I read that like if means if that
Yeah.
if else. It is something like in that
General
language.
reading would be that. Yeah.
Yeah, general reading. I wrote that two, three times in just 5, 10 minutes, and I started roaming here and there, having tea and snacks and all. And at the end of the day, then lead calls me back again that Sanjay, come here. What did you analyze? Tell me about the code, what this code is doing. I said, like, you asked me to read the code. I read that. I didn't know, like, I will have to like write an essay, or at the end of the day, you will ask me like what this code
Yeah.
does.
Okay.
He did like this, and then started scratching his head. And the very first question he asked me, like, uh, are you from non-IT background? I said yes. And then he started laughing. So this was the like normal part. But then again I then he dropped me like he assigned me another project. So I was moved to that, and there I was also doing the same thing. I was not able to understand the code. And one fine day, one of the lead like literally scolded me that Sanjay, we can serve the food, but we can't do the food like food feeding for you. We cannot spoon feeding for you.
Mhm.
And that's where like I really felt bad, and then like I also felt like crying. I was talking to my uncle, and then I was like literally crying that I destroyed my career. I shouldn't come in this field. I should go back, or what to do. And then they like convinced me, or they like gave me like hope that no, everybody, if everybody can do that, you will also be able to do that. So you spend some more time, try to do the things, try to learn the things. And that's where like I started going sitting in office like from morning 6 a.m. till 12 a.m. 12 in the night. Over weekend also I was sitting in the office, and it took me like around 1.5 months or 2 months, I would say, because this was a mainframe where you have to write the code as well as you have to write the compiler as well. So for my initial career, it was a really, really good thing that I started learning and doing both the things. Because generally, if you're writing the code in Java or you're writing code in JavaScript, you won't ever see what is the compilation, what's happening, how the code is compiled, what file is generating. So that's where I learned everything. And after 1.5 months, 2 months, I started enjoying the coding. And I
Hmm.
was like feeling, oh, this is happening. This is changing. Oh, wow, this is also happening. If I will write this, these things. So that's where I started enjoying the coding. And then after that, I never stopped, and like things keep on going. So yeah. So this is like this was a kind of like transition for me that it was initially I was enjoying. Then I thought like I destroyed my career, but then one fine day like somebody pushed me, and then I started enjoying the code. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like whenever we start something new, we always get doubts and second thoughts, like even if we
absolutely.
are even on the right track or not. So I think that is fine. But do you think people like professionals or students who are now thinking to transition would face the same difficulties as you have faced back then, or do you think there are um, there are new tools or there are new techniques which they can follow or certifications or learnings which they can pursue to avoid whatever has happened to you, whatever struggles that you have faced?
Yeah, so there are like at every stage or after in every era there are like different kind of challenges, because lots of like new things today are there. Because at when we started our career in that time, in fact, like because I'm 2011 pass out, I am
Okay.
at that time like we hardly used to get like laptop in our college days. We came from chemical to IT, and then like immediately you got the laptop on the first day on your job, and before that you haven't used that, you haven't started the laptop, so you don't know anything. But
Yeah.
today it's not the kind of that scenario is not there. So yes, there will be challenges, but different kind of. And like these days lots of things has come, like AI is there, lots of learning opportunity. At our time there was nothing like much boom of YouTube tutorials and all. So today you have a lot more opportunities to learn and explore things. You have more courses available, free content available. So yes, uh, there might not be challenges similar like what I have faced, but there will be challenges because when we come from a non-IT background and then you start learning. But I would say like it is not at all impossible. It's very, very easy. If you give time and you feel like no, you have once you feel that there is no other way, you have to do this, then you would be able to do it.
Yeah.
But once you feel like I should go here or I should go here, and then like both will be always uh,
Having options are
you will
always
be like in a
possible.
difficult, yes, it
Uh,
will be in a difficult situation if you will put one feet in this side and another in this side. So
uh,
yeah.
all right. And Sanjay, since you mentioned I would like to know your take on AI in testing.
Yeah, so like every day it is evolving a lot. From the day this OpenAI has came in the market, and everybody is like feeling like testing will go away, or I mean, in many aspects, is like different topics are there. So it's a very very vast topic to talk about. But I feel like this is a very good thing. What is happening, or what is we all are getting this kind of technologies because it's in a I feel like any new tool comes in the market, it is like it's a kind of like solution to improve our productivity, and a lot more things are going to get automated.
Yeah.
So I always see any tool is like it is going to automate some or other process for us. Any tool, like whether it's a test grade, SelectorsHub tools, in fact, this LinkedIn, this Facebook, these Flipkart website, everything is an automation tool. Like
Hmm.
imagine, like Flipkart is not there. What we used to do, we used to go to the market, search for the product, look for 10 products, and then buy a product and then come back home. Now what Flipkart has done, Flipkart has automated this process. So this is also an automation tool. So similarly, like OpenAI, like all these tools are doing some or other kind of like a process to automate that. And if we utilize this AI-based automation, AI-based tool, like AI, if we utilize this AI, so a lot more things can be done easier way. We can learn a lot more things. We
Hmm.
can make our work easy. Like not everything AI cannot do
Yeah.
every single thing. Of course, human effort and other tools will be required in the market, but at the same time, you can improve your productivity. You can like make your work faster. Like you can utilize this AI in your tool. You can utilize AI in your email writing process, improving your lot more things, the code. And if you don't know something, you can get the solution out of this. If you are, let's say, you are preparing a PPT, you don't have an idea something, you want to prepare a mind map, you want to prepare a flow chart for your product, for your presentation or for your product demo, anything. So you can do a lot more things. You need some scenarios for your test. Let's say I'm a new tester, I don't know how to do this testing of some database or login functionality. You need some test cases, you need some ideas. So all those things you can learn from there. You can implement in your like if you are working, you can implement there. If you are preparing for interview, you can learn from there. So utilize that thing in a positive manner.
Hmm.
Don't think like it will eat my job. You
Yeah.
are means we human are developing the AI, not
Yeah.
AI is developing us.
Like there was
So you
very big,
utilize that.
yeah, like there was this very big question floating around. Is AI going to take your job? So I guess the answer to it in simple terms is no. Because
Yeah, I mean, it's very obvious. We are developing AI, not AI is developing us. So, I mean, of course, like whenever there is something new tools come or new technology come, the very first statement or very first things start in the market. Oh, this will eat our job. Selenium came, manual tester will go away. Manual testing jobs will go away. Nothing goes away. It's just like we evolve with the things. We learn the new things. Our productivity get increased, and that's how world is evolving. That's how the technology and the new things come always in the picture.
definitely. Sanjay, I would like to ask, how did your early work experiences influence your approach to innovation and community-driven initiatives later in your career? Like coming up with Selectors Up and the process of it. Like, how did your early experiences influence your decision to where you are?
Yes, so early stage it was like it's not like I would say that early stage was influencing a lot on the on what I'm doing today. It's just that like when you start something initially, some push we got, and then that's where I started Selectors. So because with my previous tool or with my previous job, so very frankly saying, first job we got, I was in a crunch of money, so I was thinking like I should switch the jobs. And that's a very, very fact. We might not always talk about that, but that was the only thing that it was a first job, not getting good salary, let's switch. So we switched. In the second job, we thought like, oh, it is still not worth, we are not able to pay this loan, that loan. So it's still, this is not sufficient. So we again switched.
Hmm.
But then in the third job, so this is the reality in my case, that this is what I was thinking initially. But then when I was in the third job, that's where I realized like it is, I might not be doing things with my interest. I might be able to do better if I will go in this particular area. And that's where interest also start coming, more money start coming. So that's where I started developing the tools and all. And then one fine day I felt like, no, if I will do this with the community, that might will give more peace to me,
Hmm.
and I'm enjoying something at this particular site, and this is creating a solution. So that's where like your entrepreneur journey get started. Like when you start feeling that your solution is helping a lot more people and it has a future. So I always like initially when I launched this Selectors Hub, it was a COVID time, the
Hmm.
COVID just hit and people were losing the job. And at the same time, I left my job and everything, the previous product, and I was thinking to create this Lactose Hub. And everybody was like, Sanjay, what if you will leave this and you are losing the job? Or why you are starting from scratch, and that too you will do the free product and everything. So I was like, I was believing that I was having this belief that if my solution is, I know that this solution is going to help 100 people,
Hmm.
and these 100 people are the people those whom I know.
Hmm.
There are millions of peoples across the world. So if I multiply that 100, it will be like more than millions of people whom I'm going to help with these solutions. So that's where I started. And initially, I didn't thought about the money or anything. I just started creating the product, and it was free, and everything was free. And I was, and lots of like entire community started supporting, and then like lots of people were donating, companies were supporting. Brajesh Dev, so many people like, so I like many people I couldn't take. Sorry if I miss any name.
Yeah.
So like entire community. So when you start developing a product and helping the community come forward and they support you. Also, like at the same time, they also like contribute in the tool as well.
Hmm.
So when you develop the any product for the community, you just develop one product, they will come back with the feedback, they will support you, they will help you with more and more feedback, they will let you know that what feature it can have. And that's how like the community evolve and these products are evolving and growing. So initially I didn't thought about the money and all. Initially when I started SelectorHub, the only idea was that I have to create this solution. There were like lots of things which were against uh, XPath and locators tool. But over the time, when when selectors of we start growing up, and then more tools idea came, and then we keep adding more and more tools and solution and lot more things.
Okay. So, Sanjay, you said that you left your job back in COVID, like back in 2020. And then you thought of starting Selectors Hub on your own. It might have been a very difficult decision. And I don't think the early days would have been very easy on you. So can you give a gist of how you managed to, uh, bring Selectors Hub to a position which it has today, like where it is standing today?
Yes, so like I mentioned in my last sentence, that it was not possible for me to do this alone. It was like uh, full on community support. So if like anybody see the early days of Selectors of when we launched, it was absolutely, even today, like it was absolutely community, full on community support, that you launch this and we will support in this way, that way, everything. It was just like community support that made it possible for Selectors Hub, because when you launch or do something for the community, they support it back. So it was like completely community support at that point of time, that I could do this launch of this product at that particular at that situation, and could bring this till like what here it is standing today, that today like entire world, even like every pretty much every company use it. Like initially the question used to come to me like, in which all companies where your tools is being used. And today the question is like, where in which company your tool is not being used.
Hmm.
So that kind of questions we have like changed the scenario. Initially people used to say that don't use an expert tool, you will lose an skill. Now people used to say use Selectors Hub, you will learn the things. Initially, people used to say, don't mention these selectors or any expert tool in your resume. Today, companies are asking
Hmm.
to, like, do you know selectors of? People are mentioning that in their JD and in LinkedIn profile. So that's how it has transitioned from zero to what it is today. And this absolutely, like everything, like whole credit goes to community, and like everyone out there, those who are the users. So
Hmm.
that's like really matters. And at each point, we have taken the community feedback very, very seriously, each and every feedback, which has made the selectors of and other tools like under selectors of like TestCase Studio, Testing Daily, Auto Test Data, TestCaseHub, everything. Like each and every tool is like you see the like their bug reports or like any feedback.
Hmm.
We take it very seriously, immediately fix for them, and that's how people are happy today.
Hmm. That's really great. And like that is what we follow in marketing as well. Customer reviews, consumer reports, everything we take it very seriously. I think that's the
Absolutely.
fundamental rule to succeed in business or whatever you are doing. Reviews and feedbacks. You need to take it seriously.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
absolutely. I used to say like, sorry to interrupt you. I
no, no.
used to say like, developing a tool or creating a product is not a big thing. The main is like to maintaining the product,
Hmm.
adding the feedback, uh, incorporate all the feedback, user feedbacks. That's where the main challenge come. How much your customers, how much your users are happy, basically, not customer. In my case, I would say how much your users are happy with your solution and their feedback, what feedback you are getting, and how you are implementing that feedback, and how fast you implement that, and how much you are like responsible for your users. So that's where like your product become more and more successful.
Definitely. Um, Sanjay, I would like to ask, with the vast community of over 400,000 active users, how do you prioritize and incorporate user feedback into the development of your tools?
Yes, so see, these tools are pretty much very, very stable. So when and whenever we got any feedback about any tool or any solutions out there, any problem, we immediately incorporate that solution. We don't think anything. If we are doing anything in our product and in between we get any feedback from the user, first we take that feedback on highest priority, fix that, implement that, deploy the product again, deliver that version. So first thing is like whatever we are doing, if anything we are doing, anything comes in between, any good user feedback comes, we kept that on highest priority, deploy that, that user should be happy. Like each and every scenario should be covered. Like our users shouldn't be feeling like, oh, this scenario is not going to be solved by this particular solution, this particular tool. So we always keep that on highest priority. And
Okay,
that's how like we are doing this way.
that's really impressive. I think that is the way to do it then to stay
Yeah,
relevant.
I mean, like, if you want to make your product successful, you want like to because how product you I mean we used to the best marketing, I would say the best marketing is can be done by your users only. We will say, of course, this is my tool. I will say like this is wow, this is life changing and all. Doesn't people won't listen, but if same thing your user says to someone else that
Yeah.
no, this tool is like really brilliant, this is amazing and all, that's where the impact goes and your product automatically grows. So we like you won't believe, like we used to spend 0 rupees, like 0 rupees on our marketing. So we don't do any paid marketing or any kind of thing. It's just like all like community feedback and everything.
Oh, that's really nice. Word of mouth is the best publicity, you can say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, like apart from Selectors Hub, you have developed several other productivity booster tools like TestCase Studio and Testing Daily. So, how do these tools complement each other, and what synergies do they create for testers and developers?
Yes, so they are like helping testers. So one synergies, or you can say these, this is how like they complement like all these each other, that they help testers to make their life easy. Now every tool is solving a particular scenario, particular utility.
Hmm.
Like each and every tool, like SelectorsHub, it helps all kinds of XPath, selectors, DOM, learning about the DOM, learning about the selectors, and helping in writing the automation script, web automation script. On the other side, like Test Case Studio, it helps testers. So again testers as well as the developers as well, to get the bug steps to reproduce the bug, screenshot, help in documenting the test cases, screen recording, automatically everything, recording test case in any language. So it helps in those scenarios. Similarly, like testing daily. So again, like you see that every particular tool helps and solve a particular unique kind of problem. And most of our tools are like unique and innovative in uh, on its way, and they don't have any kind of competitor or anything.
Hmm.
Like testing daily, it is helping people to get the latest testing updates on their fingerprints,
Hmm.
on their fingers. Like and in fact, like in some cases, if you use testing daily, you don't even have to. Testing daily is a kind of tool which you don't have to use it, get automatically used if you have it in your browser, to
Okay.
get the latest testing news, articles, blogs, any like what all YouTube
Yeah,
videos come.
it is
So
an
anything
extension what
comes.
we use to stay
Yeah,
updated what's
absolutely.
in the testing industry. So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like mobile app also this has. And then like auto test data, which helps people, like the another tool, auto test data, which helps our testers to generate the fake test data just in like 1, 2, 3 clicks.
Hmm.
So so all these tools are helping testers basically, and they are unique on their own way.
Okay. My next question would be, like, can you share a sneak peek into any upcoming projects or enhancements in your product lineup?
Yes, so recently we have launched lot many things like in TestCase Studio. It was not possible earlier. In fact, there was no tool that, let's say you are testing your website in any particular local language, like you're testing in French or Germany or Hindi or any local language you are testing your website, and you want to generate the test cases or you want to record the steps in that particular language. It shouldn't be like English and then your language mix up. No, we
Hmm.
want to record everything in French language. We want to file a bug in French language only. So that we have made it possible recently, and this feature is live and absolutely available for free users. Apart from that, today only we launched a feature on auto test data that now you will be able to generate the password as well, like combinations of all kinds of data you want to generate. So we used to keep adding such features in testing daily. Recently, we added the filters for YouTube and rest of the blogs. And one amazing thing, like very soon, it is going to we are going to launch that a very good utility for all the testers. It is going to be very, very helpful. This is what I can tell you today. I won't be able to tell like what it will be, but this is going to be like really, really amazing. You might see in another 10, 15 days, but this is going to be like very revolutionary
Okay.
thing very soon going to be launched. Yeah.
Now we are
So we used to
actually
keep
forward
adding
to
such
the
things.
unveiling of your new launch. We are excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so sh- Another question would be related to the impact and growth of Selectors Hub. So Selectors Hub boasts 500,000 downloads and is growing rapidly. So what strategies have been instrumental in driving this growth, and how do you plan to sustain it in the future?
Yeah, so strategy is like very simple. We don't build that kind of strategies. We know the simple funda. You implement your users' feedback very, very seriously. Cover each and everything. Make your customers, make your users happy. Take their feedback. Keep looking their like use cases. If they have any scenario, any use cases, implement that. Keep your product up and running all the time, and that's what strategy we are following, and that's how we are growing. And we believe that it will be keep growing, and the way we are doing it is absolutely fine. And we will be keep adding more and more features, more and more tools to make these testers life more a lot more easier. And that's how we will keep building and keep helping community, and community will help back us at the same time.
That's really nice. But like with the pace of the innovation and testing industry, and with this AI coming into each and everything, how do you plan to stay relevant? Like user feedback is one thing, but how do you plan to, uh, keep on innovating and staying relevant in the industry and on the top as well? As you have said that there are no competitors as of now. but you might have competitors in future as well, and they might have more innovative ideas, or they might have more features. So how do you plan to, stay on top and ahead in the industry?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So apart from the user feedback, we used to keep innovating, keep doing the innovation in our each and every product, and we used to keep adding more tools as well at the same time. Like in fact, last year we launched two new tools: Testing Daily, Auto Test Data for the community, and we added a lot more features in both our tools, SelectorsHub and TestCase Studio. So we used to keep adding a lot more and more innovation. We keep doing the POC in all the use cases and scenario out there in testing and development, and keep looking for what kind of problem. So whenever we see our users using our product, we also keep thinking that what is the problem, what is the where they are struggling, and that's how the new thing which we are going to launch very soon, on which we are working right now. So we always keep seeing that apart from the user feedback comes on the product which they are using. From your product, what your solution, what they are using, user feedback comes on that.
Hmm.
What is there which is not going to come, that we always keep looking in. So I used to keep I also keep uh, doing the testing for other products, keep doing the simple thing, keep reading the blogs, keep analyzing what these testers need, what these testers are doing, what these developers are doing, how can we help them, how can we create a problem, like whatever they are doing, how can we feel that this is a problem what they are doing.
Hmm.
And on that we used to keep creating the solution. So you will see in upcoming solutions and what we have today, you will see that even tester is fine without using these tools also. But when you will get to know that these use cases we have solved, whatever you are doing, that is there is something wrong in that. You can save more time, you can do things better by using these products. So that's how we used to keep innovating the things. We used to keep doing the POC. We used to solve a lot more use cases. What use cases you are doing, we used to convert them in a problem and then creating a better solution for them. So we are always ahead of that on that, and we are used to keep doing better things.
Got it. That's really nice, and that's really impressive, I would say. So, like, as someone deeply invested in making testers and developers' lives easier, what trends or advancements in the testing landscape are you most excited about?
So, like lot more means every day new some or other new things used to keep coming out there. I won't say like any particular thing, but I'm like looking at like what people are building with AI. And everybody is like today in the race of like implementing the AI in their tools, and in fact like that is right as well, because it is adding a lot more good use cases, making things easier. So I'm looking into that kind of things, what's happening there. And yes, testing daily is there, so which used to keep getting us like keep giving us all the updates what's happening in the testing space. So that is keeping us updated with all these testing trends and like what's happening in the testing industry.
Got it. One more question on how do you measure the impact of your tools on the testing community beyond just the download numbers?
Yes, so based on like our user feedback and every day, like how people are recommending these tools. So based on that, we used to understand that, okay, yes, this it is creating impact, it is helping testers. And anything, best thing is like to measure the how your tools are helping communities, that you check out their feedback, talk to your users, get their feedback, not directly as a creator. You might be hearing from someone else, through others you get the feedback. So that's how we understand the impact and how it is helping. We used to keep doing the meetups like RTP, selectors of meetup, and like webinars we used to keep doing. So that's where we used to get lots of feedback as well. And at the same times, like pretty much every training institute today teach about selectors of and talk about all the tools of selectors of. So that's where also we used to get a good impact and good like analysis how these tools are helping community, how these are helping people. Yeah.
So, like, there are no hardcore, like, very strict KPIs. It's just like apart from the download numbers, you.
Yeah, there is nothing like we don't track any kind of like user activities. So all these tools used to run offline in the user system. They are highly safe and secure. We don't track any kind of user activity. We don't track any kind of user data or anything. So this is absolutely like simple.
All Now a little something for our community. So, for individuals aspiring to create tools or solutions for the testing community, what advice or insights would you offer based on your own experiences?
Yes, so anyone like those who want to create the tools or these kind of solutions for the community, I would like give advice again, repeating the same thing which I said earlier, that if you feel like you can create a tool or a solution for the community, you should definitely do that. But remember one thing, that creating a tool or a product is not a challenge. Challenge is like to maintaining that tool, to keep adding the user feedback in them, keep implementing the user feedback. Because tools can be created very, very easily. You hire a developer or any expert, they will do it for all just like 5-10 days. Anybody can do that. But then maintaining the tool, you will see like when we launched SelectorsHub, initially every other day, every other month, there was one more XPath plugin, one more XPath plugin. Then like nobody was maintaining, and everything is gone out of the big box. So like maintaining and keep implementing the user feedback, more features, keep improving the tools. That's where the main challenge come, and how consistent you are on that. So that is the main challenge. So this is one thing you always have to keep that in mind, that if you want to create a tool and you want to make it big, then you will have to remember that you will have to put your blood in that. You will have to put a day night effort 24/7. You will have to be up, because once you like you are not providing the support for the user, you are not implementing their use cases in your tool will not sustain long for long in the market. You might get some wow or other thing, some post on the like social media that I have created this tool and that tool. Just to mention that you are a creator in your profile doesn't help your product and you. So but you should create a tool if you feel that your solution can help 10 people, 5 people, and it is going to solve this problem. Then definitely you should create a tool. I mean, you should work on the like your idea, you should create that, you should provide a solution with that for the community. And once you give back to the community will definitely help you to make it big and improve that product. You just have to give your time. And yes, this is how like pretty much everybody used to do, and everybody can do that. There's nothing like some rocket science kind of thing. It's very, very simple approach.
Thank you so much. And what are some key lessons you have learned along your journey as an inventor and creator in the software testing space?
Uh, My key learning, like in many cases, there are many use cases. Something which I can immediately recall is that the negative feedback is very, very important for your product to keep it more, make it more and more better. The day you get that kind of like negativity or negative feedback, you implement that feature. That's how your tool evolves a lot. Otherwise, we like keep getting the positive feedback, positive feedback. You feel like, oh wow, this is everything is done, nothing is what to add now. But the day you hear that, oh, this is not there in your tool, then you immediately thought, let me make it like this way. I will implement this feature also, so that like this will like these feedbacks will be become positive. So negative feedback for a creator is really, really important, and that's how I feel like one of the very good things in a recent time. And like in fact like from the day one. And if I say it correctly, negative feedback is the one that made it possible to launch the SelectorsHub. The invention of SelectorsHub is the negative feedback.
Okay.
Like earlier, you people used to say that don't use an expert tool, and that's what the like key point of the birth for the SelectorsHub. Like SelectorsHub birth was like don't use an expert tool.
Okay.
I
So,
mean, apart from that, there are lots of learning others. Yeah,
so basically, take every criticism constructively. Constructive criticism is the way to go. All right.
absolutely.
And uh, so, at the professionals, any advice for the budding testing professionals or the professionals who are currently in mid of their careers? Any advice or any tips on how to get better? And
Yes, I'm not that kind of like philosopher or something, but I would say like keep giving your 100% in the job, whichever job you are, and that's how like we all keep growing. keep learning and keep giving your 100%. If you're giving more than 100% in your job, definitely you'll be like going to do more big and best thing in your career.
That's really nice. That was really insightful and really knowledgeable session, Sanjay. Thank you so much for taking time out and featuring, like, accepting our invitation for Humans of Testing. It has really helped a lot of us. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Efsa, for having me here. You guys are doing a great job for the
Thank you.
community. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.